Welcome to the All-State Saturday Kickoff.
It's a beautiful fall Saturday in New England. Perfect weather for football. And on homecoming weekend for the Huskies, two of the top defenses in the American square off in a game that can keep both teams' season-long goals alive. It's USF and UConn kickoff in less than a minute. And hello from Connecticut. I'm Alan Bestwick. He's Coach Dan Hawkins. USF comes in at 2-3. UConn comes in at 3-3. And yet both of these teams have everything to play for today.
Both coming off of really big wins last week. Now who can keep it going? You're trying to stay alive in this American Conference race and maybe keep your bowl hopes alive. I think the team that loses probably going to be on the outside looking in. The team that wins still has to put on their big gloves and go fight to make it in.
The Bulls from USF, coached by Willie Taggart, his third year with this team. He's completely retooled the offensive and defensive styles for this season to better match the athletes on his squad. And the former Notre Dame defensive coordinator, Bob Diaco, is in his second season as the Huskies head man. He's looking to get UConn off to its first 4-2 start since 2009. 52 degrees. Beautiful, crisp autumn weather here in New England. The leaves beginning to turn. The backdrop's excellent, and the ball's in the air. We're underway with UConn downing the ball in the end zone after USF won the toss and deferred. So the Huskies will come out onto the field first, led by their redshirt sophomore quarterback, Brian Sheriffs.
This kid does a nice job. He can run and throw. He runs more like a fullback when he takes off. He's not going to be like Quentin Flowers on the other side, but he can get it done with his feet, and he's getting better each week.
And in this day and age of tempo offenses and spreads and that kind of thing, UConn's style is a little bit more old school.
Yeah, it definitely is. You'll see two tight ends. You'll see a fullback. These guys will huddle up, more play action, pro-style action. Then you'll get on the other side with the Bulls. And there you see the first shift in motion, checking it back the other way.
So 80, the motion man's the tight end, Tommy Myers. The setback is Arkel Newsome, the sophomore, who's been a oncoming sensation for the Huskies this year. He'll pick up a few off the right side, and a look at some of the goals for today for the Huskies.
Well, on defense, they've got to keep Quentin Flowers in the pocket, both running and throwing. Mack is trying to go for his third game over 100, and then they've got to do a nice job like they did in the running game, protecting Brian Sheriffs, both when he throws and then giving him manageable down and distance.
So they gave Newsome 4 yards on the first down run, 2nd and 6. Sheriffs will keep it. Ball's out and quickly fallen on. And a heads-up play by Hergy Mayala, 88. Flag down on the field.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 51. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It's Tayshawn Whitehurst tagged for the foul for USF. Related to how the ball came out,
turnovers and sacks have been a problem for this Husky ball club. And on the other side, the Bulls are doing a nice job forcing turnovers here lately. One thing you'll see this South Florida team, they'll run to the ball, they'll be physical when they get there, and there'll be a bunch of them around the ball.
So just shy of midfield for the Huskies, and the penalty giving them the first down. Coming this way, Newsome sprinting down the sideline. He's caught from behind and knocked down at the 16-yard line.
Had an excellent day last week in special teams and all around. Running a power play back over here on the left-hand side. Kind of out-leveraged South Florida, meaning they had more bodies outside than South Florida had. That'll be something I want to get retooled on the sideline.
Newsome, the sophomore from Ansonia, Connecticut, leading the Huskies in rushing. He's got the ball again. Good pursuit from the far side. Jamie Bird from that Husky position on the 4-2-5 defense that USF uses. And a look at our impact players when UConn has the ball.
Well, you got one of them right there, Arkel Newsome. He's a spark plug. Augie Sanchez leads the defense in tackling. He's their middle linebacker, number 43. Plays hard, gets to it.
Won the team's leadership award after the 2014 season. He and the Bulls defense trying to see if they can slow UConn down here at the 16-yard line on their opening drive. Sheriffs to throw the ball for the first time. Now they'll pull it down. Down inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line before he's hit there by Nigel Harris and Augie Sanchez.
First downs, touchdowns, and get downs is what you want for your quarterback. You don't want him taking any more shots than he has to. They're trying to work on him. They're trying to work on him sliding. One of the differences you see in this style of offense, you can't necessarily pull the ball in the run-pass options. Now look from outside over here. You're going to see pressure come late in the play, and the tackle gets made right there. That's the difference in the style of offense where you're handing the ball intentionally. You're not pulling it and have an option to throw it outside.
Third and short. Newsome. That's going to be close. Going to depend on the spot. Augie Sanchez quick to the ball for USF. Looks like they're going to mark him short. And it's fourth down. What do the Huskies do here?
I think you got to go. Opening drive, big win last week. Got to be assertive. You're a run team. You got to deserve to win. If you can't get a yard right here in the opening drive and homecoming in your own stadium after coming off a big road win, maybe you don't deserve to win. I like the decision.
Sheriffs. I don't know. I don't know. Depends on the spot.
Needed to take it one more gap outside. Quarterback, when you got that sneak action, you've got to be able to hit the bubble. South Florida, you're going to see him lined up in here. Now look at where the gaps are covered, and then watch as he comes outside with the sneak. Needs to go just one more gap. He just tries to cram it in there where he's got a body. That's tough to do.
So they'll bring the chains in and measure. Will it be an inch to the good or an inch shy? USF ball. They get the fourth down stop.
That's okay. I like the call. Statistics will tell you we're big in analytics and metrics at ESPN, and a lot of numbers show up. Anytime you're inside the 10-yard line down here, you should go for it, because you do okay, you end up getting that field position back. So good aggressive call. I like what the mentality of the Huskies right here starting out.
So 7 plays, 68 yards, 3 minutes, 39 seconds, no points on the board, and Quinton Flowers now leads the USF offense onto the field. Quick handoff to Marlon Mack, the star running back. He's hit quickly by Graham Stewart for the UConn defense. And a look at the goals for today for USF.
That kid right there, number 2, Graham Stewart, plays outside linebacker, transfer from Florida. USF's got to push the ball downfield. They're a horizontal team, throwing it and running. We talked about waking up and play different part of the country, different temperature. Got to get used to it, got to get going.
Marlon Mack could not find any running room. Kenton Adeyemi, 95, there with the hold plug.
And then that's the other key, is they've got to keep number 5 under 100. He's trying to go for his 3rd straight 100-yard game. Between he and Quinton Flowers, they're a handful because of what they do. It's like a triple option type scheme where they read a lot of things. But that horizontal quick screen game outside the receivers is deadly because they can run after the catch.
So as you can see, only a third of the time are the Bulls converting on 3rd down. Flowers throws one downfield and over the head of Chris Barr, the intended receiver. That was a little bit awkward looking all the way through, wasn't it?
That's not his forte, Alan. He's not been tremendously accurate throwing the ball down the field. He has great arm strength, but he can hurt you with his legs. And I think if they play up close to the line of scrimmage, UConn does, prevent the run and those short passes, and then force him to throw those balls deep without giving up too many explosions, I think that's a formula for success. So here you go. The 4th down, they don't get it, but it pays off because they're going to get the ball back in great position.
Matias Chibati, the leading punter in the American, boots from out of his own end zone, taken at his own 40. And with some running room up the middle by Brian Lamel, flag comes in. Lamel knocked down at the 35-yard line. Will check the penalty marker.
Looks like we're going to have a block in the back over here. Vontae Diggs, number 13, doesn't like it. I think it's going to go on him.
Referee today, Adam Savoy.
Nicely said.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 32. 10-yard penalty. First down. Timeout.
So UConn with a nice opening drive, stopped on 4th and short. USF nowhere on its opening possession. You're watching the American Conference on ESPN. Today from East Hartford, Connecticut, Pratt Whitney Stadium, Rentschler Field, the home of the Huskies, where UConn takes on South Florida scoreless after each team has had an opening possession. And yeah, a beautiful New England day. The leaves have turned.
Alan, people always say that, but it's really stunning. It is spectacular. We've got a whole 180 view out here. It is just beautiful. Fall doesn't get any more beautiful than this.
So the 22-yard return wiped out by the penalty. UConn starting at its own 36. Sheriffs for the first pass of the day, or will he pull it down? He'll throw. Near side to the tight end, Tommy Myers, who gets across midfield. And he's knocked down there by Augie Sanchez and Ronnie Hoggins for USF.
Here's the difference in the pro style. So the tight end stays in. They go play action on this side. You get max protection. He's got all day to throw. And then the tight end leaks out late. There you go. He's playing out of the backfield as a fullback. But you got 3 extra blockers. That's a difference in pro style attack. You can help protect your quarterback. He doesn't have to get it out of his hands fast before he gets blasted.
Ron Johnson is in at tailback for the Huskies. The pass will be swung outside to Newsom. Fights his way forward close to first down yardage.
Really nice job blocking on the outside. Noel Thomas, watch right here. Watch the block he gets. If you're going to throw these screens outside, they call these the bubble screen. Watch the block. Bam. That's awesome. Plus those DBs hate that. They make their living with their legs. You start blocking their legs all day long, they don't like that too much.
So 2nd and short for the Huskies. Sheriffs hands off to Johnson. Hit again, and stopped short of picking up the first down. Devin Abraham and Augie Sanchez with nice pursuit to the outside.
Devin Abraham is the free safety. He's only 5'9" and 186, but he will run to the ball. And you see right there, they're physical. They have 3 guys in space to help make that play.
So on the 4th and short, a little while ago, UConn wasn't able to convert. They couldn't convert on 2nd and short there. Now it's 3rd and about 2/3 of a yard.
Be an interesting decision where he's at here. You almost might think, maybe we're in a 2-down situation again. He's got some bubble right over the center to run the sneak if he wants it.
He'll hand to Johnson, who'll have the first down before he's cracked on the outside by Abraham. But the Huskies convert this time with the sophomore from Naples, Florida, doing the work.
We talked about USF waking up and playing, okay? Different climate, different part of the country. I know you're from Florida, Alan. You're dressed a little warmer than you normally would be. But right now, I'm not seeing the Bulls be as physical and aggressive as they were last week against Syracuse. They got to get their motor going on defense. Here's the other thing you don't see a lot in the fast-paced offense. You don't have quarterbacks checking the play at the line of scrimmage.
Play clock down to 1, but they got it away. Johnson with the handoff. Won't get much off the right side. 98 Mike Love on the hit for the USF defense.
There you go. They need a couple of plays to spark them and get a little momentum happening. Because Frank Verducci, the offensive coordinator and running back coach for the Bulls, he's an O-line guy by trade. And he will keep pounding you if you can't stop it. So they've got to put the Huskies behind the chains like they are here a little bit. Force them into a game they don't want to be in.
Second and 11, swing to the outside, off the hands of Johnson and falls incomplete. He was met by Jamie Bird, the Husky back for the USF defense.
Yeah, they call him the Angry Bird for a reason. He's a TCU transfer. South Florida was bringing 2 off the edge, bringing 2 blitzers, and then one of them was Jamie Bird. He did a nice job peeling when the back came outside. Great recognition.
When you talk to USF defensive coordinator Tom Allen, who came over from Ole Miss as their linebackers and special teams coach for the last couple of years, you define that Husky back, and he says it's someone that's going to be aggressive. He's got to be a playmaker. He'll blitz. He can drop into coverage. He's got to be a tough guy. And the Bird certainly fits that description. 3rd and long. Pressure. And down goes Sheriffs. Into the backfield. Devin Abraham makes the hit on the blitz.
That's the pressure that we talked about before. Going to bring Devin Abraham. You're going to see pressure come right over on this side here. Ends up getting after Sheriffs right there. They got 2-on-1. He's got to get the ball out of his hands, number one, and recognize that. But I like the aggressive calls by the Bulls, getting this defense fired up. That's where they make their living, is in the other team's backfield.
Justin Wayne, the UConn punter, standing at his own 40-yard line. Fair catch signaled for, and caught in a crowd, and a nice job there by Tajay Fullwood. Scoreless, 5 minutes and change to go, quarter number 1 here in Connecticut.
ESPNU College Football, All-State Saturday Kickoff. Brought to you by Allstate. Proud supporters of college football. Are you in good hands? And Samuel Adams, for the love of beer.
We came into the parking lots this morning just after 8 a.m. local time. We were not alone. The tailgaters were going strong, as it's homecoming weekend here at UConn. Huskies and the Bulls of South Florida are scoreless with 5 minutes to go in this quarter. So Marlon Mack looking to get going here for USF, leading the team in rushing, averaging 115 per game, 2nd in the American, 22nd nationally in yards per game. He won't have the ball here, as Flowers will throw deep down the field. He's got a receiver off the hands of Rodney Adams.
Rodney's done a nice job, number 87 there with the Bulls. He can get deep. All these guys can run. He hasn't necessarily had the surest of hands. Now, that was a tough ball, to be sure. You'd like to. We kind of talked before we went on the air. I thought they might take a few shots. Now, they have the wind going with them, because if you're going to take shots, you better do it right now, because going back the other way, difficult.
You see that USF has had its share of the explosive plays this year.
When you have guys that can run, it usually is explosive.
This will be Mack, and he will get nothing. Met there by Adeyemi again, and Julian Kempenny for the UConn defense. And so far, that front set for the Huskies doing a nice job bottling up the run attempts.
Real solid group. They play an odd 3-4 look and got a guy on the nose. Kempenny's on the nose. 2 guys on the tackle. They're usually eating up one block. They're kind of kicking the front over into gaps this time, but you see them crowding the line of scrimmage. Only one safety deep.
Flowers throws near side. Adams there, but he's played nicely and hit quickly.
Nice job by Javon Williams. Did a really good job triggering that smoke screen outside. You're going to see they're going to throw this thing outside quick. They make a living by running after the catch. And Williams just triggers that and gets up and makes a tackle. Good aggressiveness.
2 of the best defenses in the American Conference, so no surprise it's been a defensive struggle so far in the punt unit. Matthias Chavati again on, looking to kick deep to Brian Lamel. Ball takes a great USF bounce after Lamel waves off. And all the way down to the 16-yard line. Good kick by Chavati. UConn gets the ball in a minute. The beginning of a great day of college football today on the ESPN networks. 3:30 Eastern. Michigan State in Ann Arbor to battle the Wolverines of Jim Harbaugh. Then at 7, an SEC showdown between undefeateds Florida and LSU. Both games on ESPN and live on Watch ESPN. First, Leonard Fournette, the star and certainly the foundation of LSU's offense. Can he have another big game tonight against that tough Gator defense?
Going to be a good match to see how he does.
So UConn takes over on its third possession of the game at its own 16-yard line, with Bryant Sheriffs the quarterback, flanked by both Arkel Newsome and Ron Johnson. Patiently waits and throws across the middle. Alec Bloom, the big tight end, with the reception. Had they made that play from where the ball could have been fielded, it might have been across midfield.
This is the hidden yardage in football, Alan. You're going to see this punt hits at the 45-yard line and rolls all the way back to about the 15. That's 30 yards. As Bill Parcells would tell you, there's a point every 12 yards. So basically, that's about 3 points, and that's how USF just flipped the field. Your punt return has to catch the ball.
Matias Giovanni wound up with a career-long 68-yard punt. Sheriffs under pressure, gets it away as he's hit. Johnson across midfield, caught from behind and dragged down by Tayshawn Whitehurst, but UConn on the move again.
Really nice call by Frank Verducci. Little screen action back the other way. He's going to pump this right, turn back, short screen. Everybody's fitted up, doing a nice job blocking. Anytime you get receivers, that's the second knockdown block right there by Noel Thomas.
So Ron Johnson with the nice gain for the Huskies, and they're in business at the 43-yard line now. Arkel Newsome. Some nice yards off the right side before he's dragged down. And Jamie Bird again on the stop for USF.
Getting a lot of plays into the second level. This defensive line of the Bulls normally is a disruptive group, getting up the field, strong, powerful. They need to start creating a little dent in that line of scrimmage.
Time of possession heavily in UConn's favor so far, as are the yards gained. But nothing on the scoreboard to this point.
Both of these teams want to run the football. They do it in different manners, but that's where they start, is wanting to run the football.
Newsome again. Nicely pursued, though. Around the far side, 91 Eric Lee for USF, who had a monster game against Syracuse a week ago with his first call of this day.
Eric does a nice job. He's a captain of this team, 6'3", 260. Long arm guy, plays hard. Had a huge game, as you mentioned, last week. They play both of these defensive ends on different sides at different times, but did a good job shortening the edge there.
So another third down opportunity here for the Huskies. Sheriffs with pressure, dumps it out near side, a little short. Newsome couldn't pull it in, and it'll be fourth down. And the kicking team comes on the field for UConn.
That's too bad for Sheriffs. He saw the blitz coming off of his left side. Two defenders. He was very calm, very poised. He just didn't get out over that front foot and deliver the football. But he saw it coming. He was under control the whole time. He just didn't get the kind of technique on it he wanted.
And Newsome had a little running room there, too, if he was able to get that ball in his hands. So Tajay Fullwood standing back at his 10-yard line, and the UConn punter Justin Wayne to see if he could pin the Bulls deep again. That nose down kick. And the ball will go out of bounds at the 15-yard line. And that is where USF will get another crack at the ball. See if they can get a little something going on offense. No matter where you go on this college football Saturday, take all the action with you. Download the Watch ESPN app or go to watchespn.com. It'll all be there for you. And there's going to be some great action today that you're going to want to follow. Here in East Hartford, Connecticut, the UConn Huskies not able to get anything on the board. The ball goes back over to USF. You see just 1:49 left in what's been a very quickly played first quarter. And now the Bulls take over at their own 17-yard line. Quinton Flowers, the quarterback. Marlon Mack, the running back. They've only managed to rush for a single yard today.
Nice job by the Bulls there, kind of changing it up with the clap, the count. Huskies showed blitz, then got out of it.
Here's Mack. Nope, quarterback Flowers keeps it. And let's check in with a man who'll keep an eye on all things action for us today, Brendan Fitzgerald.
Alan, thanks very much. Let's go to Baylor taking on West Virginia. This is Seth Russell to Corey Coleman. They are scoring points fast once again. Nice to hear you guys up early this Saturday.
Yeah, been used to pulling the late shift, right? Baylor again racking up points like they have all season long. Here's the second down play. Flowers to throw, has time, now swings it out wide to Mack. He's pursued out to the sideline. 3 UConn defenders there, kind of forming a wall of blue shirts.
Really good maturity by Quentin Flowers on this play. You're going to see he's got a seam route coming down the field. Doesn't like it and ends up checking it back outside. Good maturity and growth by a quarterback. Not forcing the ball down into coverage. Letting his back try to do something. Got a manageable down and distance right here.
The running back is Dearness Johnson. He's the leading receiver for USF, 32. So keep an eye on him here on this 3rd and 5.
South Florida bunched up in the receivers. Normally you got crossing routes when that happens.
Flowers to keep. First down yardage and more. Still going. Across midfield. Finally drops himself down at the 45-yard line.
Spectacular. We talked about keeping this guy in the pocket, and he's dangerous. They go right to quarterback draw, hit it right upside. You see the middle linebacker running out with the back. They had UConn schemed up in that. They knew the running back would leave and be wide open inside.
Here's Johnson. Fighting for about 4 before he's swarmed under by Matthew Walsh and Jamar Summers. And the clock will run down to the end of the first quarter. Scoreless so far. It's been a defensive struggle here on this beautiful New England Saturday. Game with American East Divisional implications. UConn and USF. About to begin the second quarter on a beautiful New England day. The foliage, it's about peak season here for that. Spectacular views around Pratt Whitney Stadium and Rentschler Field, where the UConn Huskies and the USF Bulls are scoreless at the end of 1. Alan Besbrook, Coach Dan Hawkins, and our ESPN college football crew. And as the team switch ends, that flag brings a little implication with it. A very strong breeze blowing from left to right as you look at it on your television.
See right there, UConn did a nice job bottling up the Bulls in the first quarter. Other than that one run by Flowers, we talked about the goal. They did a nice job keeping him in the pocket there. He's the other X factor. You try to get Marlon Mack slowed down, and then your quarterback houses it. You see the goals right there for South Florida. They got to get the ball downfield, wake up and play. I think they're starting to do that a little bit. Haven't created many negative plays on defense.
So 3rd down here. Flowers swings it out near side. Dearness Johnson will be chased down by Graham Stewart, and there's a flag on the field.
I threw it down inside. A big pile in there. Could be a multiple calls.
Personal foul. Chop block. Offense number 75 and 12. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
Kofi Amicha and the tight end Sean Price tagged for that. So it'll bring up 4th down after the big loss, and the punting team will come on for USF. First time they've gotten across midfield on offense after the big run, the career long run for Quentin Flowers, but the punt team will end up finishing off the drive.
Chabotti's a good punter. He's got to be careful not to get the ball too high up in the air here. Just going to hang.
Last time Brian Lamel let the punt bounce, so this time it's Nick Vitale who's in on the punt return position. And the ball will bounce back the wrong way where USF is concerned. UConn will go to work at its 26-yard line. Scoreless here in Connecticut. Some enjoying homecoming weekend at the moment, a little more than others. And UConn and USF scoreless here in the second quarter. Huskies back on offense. Game so far really a summation of these two teams' seasons. Hawk, solid defense, but not a lot of offense.
Yeah, you're correct. South Florida's lived off of turnovers, and of course, UConn got a bunch last week against UCF as well.
Sheriffs with the play-action throw, looking into a crowd, and somehow coming up with the ball is Noel Thomas. How did he get that?
This is what defines a great receiver. We've seen some over the, but it's not just having something Velcroed to your chest. He's got two people on him. He goes up and makes a play. That's a ball that Sheriff should not be throwing. But if you trust your receiver enough to either knock it down or make a play, so far he's really stepping up. He's had two great blocks in the running game, and that was obviously phenomenal, going and saving his quarterback there.
Thomas, the team leader in receiving for the Huskies. So they're across midfield at the 41-yard line, a 34-yard passing play. Sheriff's to throw again. Batted down and intercepted. Ball batted into the air and into the hands of a USF defensive lineman. It looked like Kevin Bronson tipped it up, and Dietrich Nichols got the interception.
Kind of thing defensive linemen are doing anymore is that when they read that three-step drop, they just kind of stop, get up in the air. They know Dietrich was actually coming off the edge, did a great job recognizing the three-step drop and getting his hands up in the air.
I said that exactly backwards. Nichols tipped it up and Bronson brought it down. So the turnover puts the USF offense onto the field at the 41-yard line.
It's probably where this game's going to come down to is turnovers. It usually always does, but two really good defenses, and if somebody puts their other defense in a risk.
Ball swung to the outside to Rodney Adams. He's quickly taken out of bounds by Jamar Summer. Now, you mentioned, Hawk, that USF has made its living on turnovers. This USF defense is 10th in FBS at tackles for loss per game. They were first in the nation a year ago in terms of forced fumbles and interceptions so far this year. Their turnover margin is spectacular. They've been really solid in creating opportunities for themselves. Now, you've created the opportunity. You got to make something out of it. Coming to your side, Chris Barr. Bouncing his way across the yard to gain. Barr, the true freshman from Jacksonville, Florida, picking up the first down.
Really like this kid a bunch. 5'10", 175 pounds. They run the fly sweep to him. They run the smoke screen to him outside. As you can see, he's kind of shifty with the ball in his hands.
So Flowers, the quarterback, swings it out to Mack. Pursued there in space by Graham Stewart. And no gain. It'll bring up the second down and long.
Not the ideal down and distance. These guys are, it might be in 4-down territory at this point.
Yeah, they haven't been able to get Mack going for much of anything in this game so far.
Really one opportunity for Flowers running on the quarterback draw in the first quarter.
Here's Mack. Stood up after about a 3-yard gain. It'll bring up 3rd and 7 for the Bulls.
Anthony Poindexter, defensive coordinator, talked a little bit yesterday. They kind of cut back on the playbook. Less is more. Simplified, getting the guys to play hard, keeping things in front of them, getting in the right gaps, covering the right guy, paying good dividends for them in this early outing.
So even below their season average in 3rd down conversion attempts so far today. Flowers throws. He'll have a receiver with yards. Rodney Adams looking for the goal line. Touchdown, USF. The junior from St. Petersburg, Florida, got loose in the UConn secondary and took it 44 yards into the house.
That's where these guys are extremely dangerous. Is running after the catch. Found a little hole in the coverage, right in that linebacker area. Turned around, nobody was there.
And now Emilio Nadelman on for the point after try. And hits it true. Well, the turnover was converted into points for USF, and they go up 7-0 on UConn after the tip ball and interception, and Rodney Adams' 44-yard catch and run.
ESPNU College Football All-State Saturday Kickoff. Brought to you by the Citi Double Cash Card and Belfour Property Restoration, restoring more than property. For more information, visit BELFOR.com.
Now the smell of autumn in the air in New England. And a little trick or treat for USF and UConn. The trick turning an interception into points. The 7th interception of the season for the USF defense turned into 7 points by Rodney Adams on his 44-yard catch and run. And it's 7-0 Bulls in the second quarter.
UConn did a nice job shutting them down. You see the yards that have come really on 2 plays. The Flowers quarterback draw and the Adams catch and run.
The kick taken by Newsom. Looking for a block. And a nice job to fight off that block and make the stop. Dietrich Nichols possibly saved a touchdown there for USF as he managed to fight his way through and get his hands on Newsom.
Going to see on that touchdown throw right here, there's only one defender left in the middle. He comes in, spots up, not a long throw, plenty of grass. These guys can hurt you in space. Every one of these receivers are athletic.
Well, coaches, I'll call it offering some words of encouragement over on the UConn
I think they were in man coverage. That was Jamar Summers. Probably should have stayed with Adams back inside.
So UConn with good field position to start this drive. Sheriff throws the screen to Newsom with a lot of pressure in his face, but Newsom hadn't turned around and set up for the ball yet.
Had success with that screen earlier in the game. Not the exact same screen, but boy, when you face an aggressive front, you've got to mix up the launch point. You got to throw screens. You got to get it out of your hands quickly at times.
UConn has had the ball for 11 out of 18 minutes in this game. Generated 150 yards of total offense to 94 for USF, but have not put any points on the board to this point. Remember, they had a 4th and goal down deep in USF territory on their opening drive, and they were stopped. Sheriff throws near side. The tight end Tommy Myers has the ball. Wrapped up and dropped by Augie Sanchez. It'll bring up 3rd down for the Huskies.
They really like both of the tight ends on this team, Alec Bloom and Tommy Myers. Tommy ends up coming from the fullback spot a lot, shifted up to the tight end. You throw those little routes underneath where they're optioning off the linebackers, and Tommy comes in at 6'5", and Alec is 6'6", so it's pretty easy for Sheriff to find him and throw that ball into a hole and let his big guy go get it.
So another 3rd down conversion attempt here for the Huskies. Sheriffs with pressure, lets it go through the defender's hands and into the hands of Alec Bloom, who's running deep and finally cut down inside the 10-yard line. That's twice that Sheriffs has thrown a ball, but somehow a UConn receiver got through traffic.
Watch the pressure come from off the edge over here. Sheriff does a good job standing in there. He knows he's going to get blasted, and then he sees Alec right there, throws it up. We just talked about the size. Alec coming in at 6'6". Really excellent poise by Brian Sheriff, getting that thing off. Good strong hands by Alec Bloom.
And play clock running down inside of 5 seconds, so UConn has to take a timeout. So a 38-yard throw, and UConn looking to try and get quickly even with USF. We'll see how it turns out in a minute. Just the beginning of a great college football Saturday, and tomorrow we'll dig into it all in depth on College Football Sunday, 8 a.m. to noon here on ESPNU and watch ESPN. And I have a feeling there's going to be a lot to talk about on Sunday morning. We focus completely on college football. Hawk, you like to say it's a game of inches, right?
Yeah, boy, you said it right when we were off air there. This could have easily been a pick six. Nigel Harris just outside of his fingertips. Bloom barely gets it. Could have been 7 the other way. Now it might be 7 for the Huskies.
Sheriffs to throw on 1st and goal. Near side, Newsom driving forward. He'll be wrapped up and dropped by Johnny Ward, but not before he gets down to the 2-yard line.
Good hands by Newsom. Nice job. Sheriff's checking it off. quarterback, you're in the red area, you've got imminent points. You do not want to take a sack and hurt your field goal chances. You do not want to throw an interception and kill the touchdown momentum.
Remember that UConn was down to the 8-yard line earlier in the game and had that 4th down and didn't make it happen. The tight end's very much a featured part of this Husky offense.
And you got to think that they're alive right now down on the goal line. Look for some play action. Very tough to cover. Tight end sneaking through there.
Handoff to Newsome, but pursued quickly into the defensive backfield. First to get there was Sean Hill, 9 for USF, and 2 Jamie Bird with a nice penetration into that UConn backfield.
Their forte is getting up the field, and Sean Hill, as you mentioned, really exploded right there. Number 9, 6'3", 270. These guys are electric up front and really can make things happen when they get off the ball and create penetration.
And another timeout called here by UConn. Kind of makes you think they're a little unsure what they want to do. They'll get a chance to talk it over, and we'll see what they decide to do on 3rd and goal. UConn head coach Bob Diaco with a second timeout call here on this drive. His team down in goal-to-go territory earlier in the game came away with no points. Little indecision on what to do there, causing that second timeout call, Hawk.
I think possibly you're deciding, okay, are we in a go-for-it mode on 4th down, or are we just taking one shot and then try to kick the field goal?
From the 4-yard line. Sheriffs going to keep it. Can't quite squeak through. Grabbed on the shoelaces by Kevin Bronson, 99 for USF, and tripped up. And the kicking team comes onto the field for the Huskies.
Good call, but as you mentioned, Bronson, watch him just squeeze. You take your man in there, you squeeze him down there. Nigel Harris, who gave up that pass before, they took both of their blockers and just squeezed them right into the quarterback.
So the UConn kicker there, Bobby Puyol, you see, has been very good on this season. Just a little 19-yard chip shot. And the Huskies are on the board. Second time in the game they drove the ball down inside goal-to-go territory. First points in the game that they are able to convert, and it is a 7-3 lead for USF here in this second quarter. That field goal winding up in the All-State Good Hands field goal nets. All-State making contributions to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kicked. All-State contributing millions in scholarship monies thus far in the Good Hands field goal nets program.
Johnny Ward coming off the edge, watching from the bottom of the screen here, 24. Very close. Look for that later in the game. Want to get that cleaned up a little bit. I think if he'd have took it a little tighter, he might have got there.
So 7 plays, 50 yards, 3 minutes, 18 seconds, leading to the 19-yard field goal. Key play on the drive, the 38-yard pass to Alec Bloom. And UConn gets off the schneid, and it's 7-3.
What exactly is the schneid?
That's an old sports phrase for getting a win, not being shut out anymore.
Comes from somewhere.
Yeah, I'd love to look it up. Did that make the pylon? Yes, it did. So touchback there, and USF will start on the 25-yard line. Like to dig into some numbers here a little bit, Hawk?
Really nice answer. You had a big kick return, a couple throws to the tight end, get some points. Again, you see the time of possession there at 14 minutes. The most overrated stat in American football. You see the yards, it's about points. And you had really the long pass that we ended up having to Adams in the long run by Flowers. That's really been the 2 big plays for the Bulls.
Quentin Flowers hands off to Marlon Mack. He breaks a tackle. It'll finally get stopped by Javon Williams and Obi Melifonwu on the outside and wind up with not much of a gain on first down.
Marlon Mack, hard to really totally define his style. He's 6 foot, he's 205 pounds. He's got speed, he's kind of a slasher. I wouldn't say he's a power back, I wouldn't say he's a speed back, but he's a slasher that can accelerate in the hole.
Didn't find much of a hole in the inside of that UConn defensive line. Michael Myers, 92, with the tackle there for the Huskies.
these guys up front, they're missing Foley Fakutasi, but Julian Campenni goes in there at 306. Cole Ormsby is playing the other DN at 262. And Kent Nadeyime comes in at 6'3", 283. But those guys take a lot of space in there.
Intercepted. They threw the ball over the middle. It was tipped up, and Junior Joseph for UConn came down with the pick. Ball's going to go off the hands of the tight end, Sean Price, and Junior Joseph is there to take the gift.
Sean Price, the captain, running the center route there. Boy, anytime you bat a ball in there, it's just not good. Throws off for sure. You see right there, he's not balanced. He's just moving to the side a little bit to the right. Throws it low and away. Yeah, he knows. Really, when you throw those balls inside, you want to get them inside the frame of the receiver. Not high, not low. They got to come into the chest because batted balls, not good.
So USF turned intercepting UConn into 7 points earlier. Can the Huskies return the favor after getting on the board a bit ago? Jamie Bird and Augie Sanchez making the stop on Ron Johnson. Nice gain on first down, though.
Huskies liking Johnson in this game. They're giving him plenty of carries and plenty of action early on.
Johnson started the first 2 games of the year, but has come off the bench now in the last 5 after Arkel Newsome has really shown himself to be pretty special. Johnson's got it again. Nothing doing on the outside, though. Nice hold on the outside gap by Dietrich Nichols, 3, and allowing Eric Lee to catch up and make pursuit. Watch how Nichols keeps that edge set on the outside.
Yeah, you're a ball coach right there, Alan, because that's exactly. He doesn't make it. But you see him getting up into Tommy Myers there, creating a dent. That's that penetration we talked about. And then look at, you got 5 guys right around the ball.
Dietrich Nichols, the sophomore from Miami.
Got like a corner that'll stick his face in there and put his pads down and get physical and doesn't see himself just as a cover guy.
3rd and long. Sheriff's going to get hit. Jamie Bird blitzing from the Husky position.
The young quarterback has done a nice job seeing. He's got to see the blitz coming off the edge. They bring people off the edge and in here. And he doesn't really locate it. He kind of sees the inside pressure, but does not see the outside look. He's done a nice job this game so far, IDing the pressure and really holding in there and getting rid of the football.
USF averaging 8.2 tackles for loss per game, 10th in the entire nation. That was their 5th tackle for loss already in this one. And we're not to halftime.
You got to love how South Florida comes in with sudden change defense after the turnover and stops him.
Ball just slipping over the head of the UConn punt coverage, and it'll go in for a touchback. Second, remind you about some more of the great college football action you can see tonight. Number 1 Ohio State taking on the Penn State Nittany Lions. ABC at 8 Eastern and streaming live on Watch ESPN. The Penn State D against the Buckeye offense. And of course the ongoing quarterback conversation in Columbus with J.T. Barrett and Cardell Jones.
It's good to have 2 of them. I don't like playing 2 quarterbacks. I don't. It's better. It's better than having none. That's for sure. And it gets very difficult as who should go, and juggling becomes a little bit problematic.
Darius Tice with his first touch of the game, hit by Obi Melifonwu. You know, back to that 2 quarterback thing. It's nice to have 2 of them, but you want one to just be the guy that's producing for you, and that's been the problem in Columbus, hasn't it?
Yeah, you do, and it's just difficult. You want to have players, you do, but it's tough when one guy doesn't quite separate himself, and you go back and forth. And as you know, a trained member of the media, when you show up, if you don't know what to ask about, you ask about the quarterback. So always a topic of conversation.
Flowers keeps. Nice patience there to find a gap to squirt up through. He'll be close to first down yardage before Graham Stewart knocks him down.
I really think that's the key for the Bulls, Alan, as you continue to diagnose this. They're taking away. They're going fast now, but they got to get Flowers running the football.
First down for Tice as he takes the handoff and crosses the line to gain. They'll be out by the 34-yard line and move the chains.
Talking to Danny Hope last night, he's the former Purdue quarterback offensive coordinator, said, well, we can go fast if we want to. We run 100 plays in an hour in practice, and they're doing it now.
Flowers to throw downfield. It's got a wide open receiver. It's Rasheen Bronson, who didn't have a blue shirt, within 5 yards of him.
Big, tall, lanky receiver. Good pump and go out of an unbalanced look. They're trying to quick screen, faking it outside, running the guy at the hash. Again, UConn was wary of that.
He'll throw again to the outside. This is Chris Barr. Pursued nicely to the outside and knocked out of bounds. Luke Carazola, 15 there for UConn, among the defenders in blue.
Really excellent job. You've changed up the tempo. You got Flowers running it a couple times, and then you got the smoke and go all in one series.
Flowers keeps, now throws. Outside, Chris Barr can't make a move. That's a really nice open field tackle by Javon Williams.
Yeah, it sure is, and they've got to make them. If you're going to play man coverage against that, you've got to make them. You see UConn sensing the tempo, wholesale substitution. Really good job wrapping that up, getting those legs together. Alligator roll at the end.
3rd and 7.
UConn has kind of been playing more 4 down here. Taking Graham Stewart, the outside linebacker, is normally a stand-up guy, putting his hand on the ground.
Flowers will keep. Tries to fight his way to the line to gain. It's going to depend on the spot. I think they're going to give it to him.
We always talk about the rush lanes for a quarterback, and we talked about keeping Flowers in the pocket. Your D-line has got to stay symmetrical, coming up the field together and not having big gaps in there that the quarterback can run through.
So they reset the chains, and USF now down to the 29-yard line, and a whistle coming in.
Field as the runner made the line to gain. The previous play is under further review.
I was curious if they were going to look at this because he went down kind of early. It's not the NFL where it's where somebody finally touches you. This could be a really interesting replay review here. Jack Kramer is the replay official today.
One thing that it's hard to practice against is if you don't go no huddle and you don't go fast, it's hard to replicate that. It's hard to practice against it. And that's the one thing that the scout team is not going to do in UConn's practice. So I think this tempo by the Bulls is good because it's hard. I don't think the defense has seen the same kind of tempo in practice.
You know what? Looking at those replays, I think that's a pretty good spot.
See the gap that opens up over there, and you get defenders on different levels. I think you're right. I think the officials did a nice job there. I think it's about where it ought to be.
It's within a foot anyway, and indisputable video evidence. Well, I think that one's going to stand. Where does his shoulder hit?
His elbow comes down. His right elbow comes down just a little bit.
And that ball's within,
body hits.
That ball's within a foot
right
of where it was spotted.
There. It might be back just a little bit. Maybe about the length of a ball. If you're going with the right elbow down,
so they take a look at it again. Remember, the ruling on the field, as you see, is first down, and it's got to be indisputable video evidence. Referee Adam Savoie talking it over with replay official Jack Kramer, trying to see what the end result will be. They've got the pad out there.
That's the telltale sign. When the pencil comes out and we start writing on the pad, we know it's going to be reversed.
The back judge that's there with him signaling 3rd, 4th down. What do we got here?
I'm opting for down the road, and he is riding. I think it's going to be backed up a little bit. I'm opting for down the road, Alan, of having a member of the officiating crew in a booth behind all the monitors talking live to his crew down there, helping them in a live manner, not a replay, not indisputable. You're part of the crew. You're communicating. Good spot, bad spot, penalty, no penalty.
After review, the runner was down 6 inches beyond the 30-yard line. We will measure to see if he made the line to gain.
I like it. 6 inches. He's on it. It's detailed. So they are backing it up about the length of a football. Now.
but on the far side, they moved the chains already to first down.
Yeah, now how are you going to measure that?
So that's what I want to know.
You cannot.
The runner needed to make the 29-yard line. He is short, and it will be 4th down.
There you go.
Now,
good work by the crew.
Now, when they do these the measurements, there's a little clip that's put on the chain that goes between the 2 yardsticks that's put on one of the yard lines. So in this case, that clip was probably on the 35-yard line. And if they hadn't moved that clip, then they can bring the chains back to where they should have been.
You are correct.
So now we've got 4th down and 1. And here comes the USF offense to see if they can convert. Four of 8 on 4th down tries this year. Flowers looks like he's going to be short. It's going to be close. They're signaling 1st down, UConn.
They brought Dearness Johnson into the game. He's a little bigger, thicker back, running straight quarterback sweep. Good penetration. Really good job running to the football.
Kenton Adeyemi, 95 for UConn. One of those stuffing up that hole. So earlier in the game, USF stopped UConn on a 4th and short that was way down inside the 10-yard line. Now UConn stops USF on a 4th and short and takes over the ball just shy of its own 30-yard line, trailing 7-3. You see the time left. And remember, UConn spent 2 timeouts earlier in this second quarter.
Talk about the 3 plays that define a game, and that'll probably end up being one of them. See if UConn can kind of kick it in gear here. They're going to have to go a little bit faster than the normal tempo with 1:33 left.
Is Coach Taggart going to spend a timeout and ask them to look at the spot?
South Florida is challenging that the spot was short of the line to gain. Previous play is under further review.
It's a game of inches.
I don't know that that's a bad thing at this point with a minute and a half left in all of his timeouts.
Ball's in his left arm.
Now the question is getting a clear look at where he wound up down through all those bodies. Because Flowers is under that pile and he kind of squirts through, but where?
Excellent job by Junior Joseph there, number 11, really running and creating a little bit of an impact. Just not sure how they will say that's indisputable. It's tough. We had a lot of good looks, but so he had to get past the 29-yard line to make it happen. He's got the ball in his left arm. Tough to tell if his knees are down, and tough to tell exactly where the ball would be placed. It's a good look now.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. UConn ball, 1st down. South Florida is charged with its first timeout.
Yeah, I think you have to go that way. You just couldn't dispute that call.
Too many bodies around the ball to get a clear look at it. So a couple of challenges and an interesting few moments in time there in this ball game. And UConn's quarterback Bryant Sheriffs leads his team back out onto the field. Sheriffs 8 of 12 passing, 149 yards, 1 interception. Dumps the ball off to Arkel Newsom here. Newsom out to the 40-yard line before he's dragged down by Augie Sanchez.
Good job checking the ball down. Good protection. We talked about protecting Sheriffs. Bulls rushed forward, picked up nicely by UConn.
Stop the clock, spark the ball, restart the clock. To the outside. And knocked out of bounds with the nice reception. Hergy Mayala for UConn. And the clock will stop there with the ball just shy of midfield at the 48.
Operating nicely. Bulls have had some success getting home with the blitz. See if Tom Allen might want to dial up a little pressure on this.
Sheriffs throws again into traffic. And this time, Noel Thomas becomes the defender and knocks it away.
Yeah. Right there, Jamie Bird, the Husky, the low safety, drops right underneath it. He's got it. Can't come up with it.
That's a nice play by Thomas. They wrap that hand around and make sure he knocked that ball out. Remember earlier in the game, Sheriffs threw one out there to Thomas, who caught it in between the two USF defenders. So third down. Ball at the 47 is where they spotted it. One timeout left for UConn. And not very much success converting on third down in this game. And that's going to set him back another 5 yards. Looked like the right tackle, Andreas Kanapi, was shuffling his feet.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, third down.
And the play clock ran out.
Can't have that happen at home. That's another critical issue. You got a chance. Now, if you don't get it, you really don't have another opportunity. If you get close where the ball was before, you get close on fourth down, you think we might want to stay with it. You got to be a little careful now that you don't end up turning the ball back over to the Bulls, because they would have enough time to maybe create some points.
They need to get to the USF 49-yard line. Sheriffs to throw. Got a receiver wide open. It's Thomas. Down inside the 40 to the 38. Minute to go in the half.
I like these Bulls when they're in man coverage a little bit. Sometimes in zone, guys tend to get lost. Noel Thomas is having himself a heck of a game.
UConn wasting time here, shuffling people in and out of the game.
Look out for Tommy Myers, the tight end, number 80 there, coming down the seam.
Sheriffs throws to the outside, and he was not on the same page with his receiver.
Yeah, Hergy Mayala was out there. I think he saw man coverage. Johnny Ward, number 24, walked up and pressed him, and I think Mayala thought that was a conversion to run the fade up the sideline, and Sheriffs thought he was going to run the out.
So 2nd and 10 from the 38. 37 seconds and one timeout left to go for the Huskies. And again, spending a lot of time in the huddle. 10 seconds left on the play clock. They're just making the play call. Not going to get this off. Barely do. Sheriffs gets away from the pressure once. Throws under pressure again. He'll throw it out of bounds. Outside the tackle box. The ball across the line of scrimmage. And so 3rd down and 10.
The kicker, Bobby Puyol's longest this year is 42. He's 7 for 7 on the year. But he would have to go a ways to get inside.
Be about a 55-yarder from here.
Yeah.
And even though the wind's at their back, that's a long one. So again, 12 seconds left on the play clock as the Huskies break the huddle.
Like to save that one timeout for your field goal attempt if you can. There's the pressure.
Sheriffs throws. Once again, Noel Thomas has got it. He's inside the 20-yard line. And he'll step out at the 18 with 25 seconds to go.
Really nice pickup by the pressure. Here we go, playing man on the outside. Got Thomas matched up against a backer. Anytime you go in a 3-by-1 set, 3 receivers, Tayshawn Whitehurst, not the guy you want locked up against a receiver.
Can be big here to get some points out of this for UConn going into halftime. Sheriffs under pressure. Lost the ball. Falls back on it. But the clock running, ticking down. 15 seconds to go. They're going to step up and spike it. Yes. So stops with 8 seconds left. One timeout.
Now you got time for one shot into the end zone if you do it quick. But you can't mess around. Normally a play takes between 6 and 8 seconds. So you got to get it up and down quick. Then bring your field goal team on. But Sheriffs needs to know he cannot hang on to it. He can't hitch up. He can't delay in the pocket. Or they're going to struggle. Here's this man right here. Noel Thomas up top. Bulls electing not to bring pressure.
Through to Newsom near side. He's still running. He's either got to get in or the half's over. He's going to get dropped at the 7-yard line. They just took too much time and they'll get nothing out of it.
Clock management, Alan, I'm telling you, it's big and it's overlooked a lot. I think that's a big element to the game. Knowing how long the play is going to take, knowing the situation, giving yourself a chance to get some points before halftime.
7-3 the score at halftime here at Connecticut. Let's check out what else is going on in college football.
You're watching the All-State Saturday Kickoff.
On this beautiful autumn afternoon here in New England, teams back on the field getting ready for second half play to begin. South Florida leading UConn by a score of 7-3. Alan Bestwick here with Coach Dan Hawkins. UConn's had its opportunities and they've squandered them.
Yeah, we had the 4th down quarterback sneak. They got denied early in the first quarter. First drive, nice drive. Probably should have slid that one more gap outside. All right, then we get down here, and Sheriffs checks the ball down to Newsom. He doesn't get out of bounds. They've only got 8 seconds left to go on the clock. Clock runs out. Coach Diaco not real happy with his quarterback there.
And so the Huskies will kick the ball away to USF after the Bulls won the toss and deferred to the second half. And Bob Diaco's team trailing by 4 on homecoming weekend here in Connecticut. You can look back on a couple of those things and add a couple of more layers to those stories, Hawk. Why they only had the one timeout left. Used a couple of timeouts earlier on one series.
Time management, the use of your timeouts, obviously very, very critical.
Ernest Johnson coming back out of the end zone. And it's going to be worth it. The kicker, Puyol, is the one that slows him down at the 32-yard line before he's chased out of bounds at the 34. Ernest Johnson with the nice lift to his team to start the second half. And a look at our first half stats brought to you by United Airlines.
Well, you see there the yardage, and we don't have time of possession on there. Dominated by UConn. But the explosive plays, South Florida made theirs count. Now, UConn had a couple on that last drive, but the time management, the 4th down, has really hurt them.
Quentin Flowers, the USF quarterback, will keep it up the middle, get knocked down by Cameron Stapleton in the first half. Flowers carried the ball 6 times for 46 yards, averaged 7.5 a carry. He's also thrown it 12 times, completing 9 for 83 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. This will be Marlon Mack, who really, the star running back for the Bulls, has not been given much running room today.
I like the fact that Flowers carried it on the first down. They are going fast. The tempo and Flowers running have been key to the Bulls' offense. That's Anthony Poindexter, the defensive coordinator, trying to get into the Hall of Fame. Defensive back from the Wahoos down in Virginia.
Nominated for induction. That vote and announcement comes up in January. 3rd down. Flowers with pressure. Won't get away from it. Luke Carazola and Cole Ormsby got the initial pressure on the USF quarterback.
Ended up bringing 3 here. Doing a nice job. Got a spy for the quarterback.
Isn't that kind of the ideal? Meet me at the quarterback.
Yeah.
with the guys rushing off the edges.
Luke Carrizola is a linebacker type body and speed wise. They're using Graham Stewart, the outside linebacker, to spy Flowers.
Matthias Chibati, the leading punter in the American Conference, kicks that one away. It'll stop at about the 27-yard line, and that is where the Huskies will go to work on their first offensive possession of this second half. Well, you know, I said before, the Huskies have had their opportunities. Really, they've been able to move the ball down the field. And then when they get into the red zone, things have kind of fallen apart.
Yeah, the interception that led to the big play by the Bulls, the long pass to Adams, the failure on fourth down, the clock management at the end of the second quarter.
And just think about this, Hawk. UConn's got 266 yards of total offense against 152 for USF. And UConn's trailing in the ballgame.
Yeah, and Sheriffs has thrown it for 220, which is a little bit of a departure. They've been more of a running team, but he's done a nice job throwing it.
Swings it outside to the guy that's been his go-to man today, Noel Thomas. Survives the first hit that was laid on him by Ronnie Hoggins and bulls his way forward. Pardon the pun, USF fans, for a few more yards.
Ronnie only brings 167 pounds to the party there, but he's aggressive. All these guys run to the ball, and he and Abraham, he's 186 pounds at 5'9". I mean, I've been really impressed by Noel Thomas, number 5 for the Huskies. He's caught the ball. He's blocked well. Been a dominant player.
He's been their player of the game so far. Sheriff's going to keep this one. He'll get to first down yardage around the near side before he's dropped by Augie Sanchez.
Designated quarterback run there. I do not think he was trying to throw it. He had that ball tucked underneath his right arm the whole way. Pretty good with his feet. Nice job moving the pocket. It's all about finishing for the Huskies here. As you mentioned before, it moved it in the middle part of the field, but have got to finish.
And that was very much a theme of our conversation with Bob Bianco yesterday up in Stores in their football offices.
See there, 9 yards a pop on first down. Pretty good.
Short gain for Arkell Newsome on this first down. Yeah, when we talked to Diaco yesterday, he talked about where his team is, where it's grown from last year. And I mean, they've already won more games this year than they did all of last year. But when he defined finishing, he said the little things, the technique, the mental concentration, doing all the finite things that take you from being okay to winning ball games.
And it's tough. It's tough to get over the hump. As you mentioned, they got 3 wins right now. If they could get this one, that'd be 4.
Yep.
They got Cincy, East Carolina, Tulane, Houston, and Temple. Somehow they'd have to manufacture 2 other wins in there to get to a bowl game.
That's a nice play by Zach Bullock, 52 for USF, to close the hole up as Arkell Newsome tried to find something. Yeah, how to get to bowl eligibility. And really, they're 1 game behind the leader in the American Conference's Eastern Division, where they start play today. How to get to where you can keep pace with some of the guys like Temple.
Nothing on there is, you know, we don't like anything on paper. You'd like to think maybe, okay, Tulane is probably an odds-on favorite to win that game. Those other 4, those teams are playing pretty good football right now.
Sheriff's hit on third down as he tried to throw and had no place to go. And it'll set up 4th down for the Huskies.
Got to be careful. I was wondering if they might kind of look at this. He stays in the pocket and really not a receiver totally in the air. I was wondering if they were going to confer a little bit and say, that's grounding. But I guess they decided he had Thomas running an out route beyond the sticks over there. And that was his guy.
And I'd give him that he's being hit as he threw, so you can't tell where the ball was actually going to go anyway.
No, you're soft.
Thanks, Coach. Justin Wayne's punt. Fair catch signaled for and made by Tajay Fullwood, and USF will take over for its next possession of this 3rd quarter. You're watching the American Conference on ESPN. Today, an Eastern Division matchup between the USF Bulls and the UConn Huskies here on a beautiful fall day in Connecticut. And now today's game track brought to you by Taco Bell. Tracking the USF offense as they come back onto the field to go to work.
Had a couple of big plays, really. The long run by Flowers with a little bit of field position. And then the interception followed up by the long pass to Adams. That's really been the majority of the offense for the Bulls.
So the Bulls come back and take possession at their own 10-yard line. Quentin Flowers, the quarterback. Marlon Mack, the running back. And the ball going to Mack up into the center. After Jordan Reed came around on the end to the fake handoff, it has been nothing today for Marlon Mack. He averages 115 yards rushing a game, and today so far he's got 9.
UConn has really packed the box with an extra defender. And the last time on that read, Quentin Flowers came outside and nobody really assigned to him. We'll see if he can free himself up running the football.
Mack's got it again. This time he's got a crease, and he'll get out across the 20 to the 23-yard line before he's hit and knocked down by Obi Melifonwu.
Really good job. You see everything's designed with the read. You see the counter coming back to the right for the quarterback, and then the outside run for Mack. Same action again here.
Bulls picking up the pace. Flowers will keep this one, get about 1. Here's what I'm sensing about this game, Hawk. We knew both these teams coming in. The defenses have been very strong, very competitive. The offenses have struggled to score points. This game's there for the taking, but one of these offenses has got to step up and take it.
Yeah, we saw the big play that really the Bulls had in the first half, which was part of it. See if they get something here.
Flowers with all kinds of time. Moves and intercepted. Coming back this way, Jamar Summers for UConn. And the Huskies have the ball at the 36-yard line. Second pick of the day of Quentin Flowers.
Quentin Flowers picked up a little momentum last week against Syracuse, and they were happy with this. Now he's on the move, scrambling out to the right, which you can't see. Just trying to throw this ball late back there. Needs to be careful. You keep that ball on the sideline, you start getting that ball back in the middle of the field. Problematic.
That is the 6th time this season that Quentin Flowers has been intercepted. So, can the UConn offense take the game, take the possession of this momentum here, and convert it into some points? Bryant Sheriff's the quarterback, has the ball, and he'll run with it with a lot of green ahead of him. Can he get to the goal line? Touchdown, Huskies! After the difficult way the first half ended, with Coach Diaco talking to Sheriffs about clock management, they take the turnover and in one play run it into the end zone for a touchdown. Now Bobby Puyol is on for the point after try for UConn to make it a 3-point lead. Points off turnovers. Converted by UConn. Bryant Sheriffs with a career-long 36-yard run. This one into the end zone.
ESPNU College Football All-State Saturday Kickoff. Brought to you by Panera Bread. Food as it should be. And Infinity. Luxury cars that deliver inspired performance.
The mood inside the UConn Huskies home stadium just got a whole lot happier on homecoming weekend as the Huskies turn an interception into its first touchdown of the day and a 10-7 lead over USF. A lot of smiles on those faces that weren't there about 5 minutes ago.
A lot of potential, but no achievement in the first half for the Huskies, and they seized the moment off the turnover and able to capitalize something they were not able to do in that first half.
Dearness Johnson. Second nice run back in a row for the running back for USF. He gets the ball out to the 27-yard line.
All right, we're going to show you all 22. They're playing man across the board here. The Bulls bring 5. There's nobody for the quarterback. And as we mentioned, Sheriffs, he's not a burner, but he can run. He's got decent feet, so you've got nobody assigned to the quarterback. Good decision.
So the turnovers and the points off turnovers, both the touchdowns that have been scored in this game have come off interceptions. Now Quinton Flowers, the USF quarterback, who's thrown one touchdown pass today but been picked off twice, has to regroup and go back to work and try and rally his team. Marlon Mack, 5, the ace running back, has been pretty well stifled by the Huskies defense today.
New formation here.
Trying to get some more blockers in front of Mack. And let's check in with Brendan.
Thanks very much, Alan. Since Bobby Petrino came back to Louisville, 0-4 against ranked opponents. That could change this week. This is Lamar Jackson to James Quick from 19 yards out. The Cardinals on top 14-13. Back to you.
Ooh.
Got some games coming up here now. Memphis, of course, up on Ole Miss at halftime.
Here's the toss outside to Dearness Johnson. He'll have the first down for USF before he's knocked down by Graham Stewart. I also saw that Robert Kimdichie is out of that Ole Miss-Memphis game. Suffered a concussion while running the ball in that
Coming
one.
back, going option now. They run a different formation, and this is a different play and a different scheme. Coming back to their 30 personnel here, 3 backs in the backfield. Second time they've used it in this game.
Kind of the inverted wishbone look. Flowers will pull it out to throw. Under pressure off the back foot, but has a receiver wide open. It's Marlon Pope, who's all the way down inside the 30-yard line before he's knocked down.
Got his tight end coming out there, play action. Like the changeup for South Florida. Marlon Pope coming down the bottom of your screen over there on the left. Nice delivery. He was wide open. Good job giving him an opportunity under pressure.
30 yards on that play. Ball at the 29 for the first down. There's Dearness Johnson going to throw. Got a receiver. Touchdown. Rodney Adams on the halfback option play.
John Green playing cornerback out there, number 7. He actually had coverage. He was not fooled. He was there. But you got to love it. You see right here. Ernst just gives him a chance. Gets it up.
So the leading receiver for USF, Dearness Johnson, throws the touchdown pass. Rodney Adams' second touchdown grab of the day. He's accounted for both of the USF touchdowns. And now the point after try here by Emilio Nadelman.
Really good series by the Bulls.
And that was an answer, wasn't it?
Yeah, I like the formation change up. I like the play change up. And then you got a little deceptive. And Adams going up and making a play, his second touchdown. Got the Bulls back on top in Hartford.
You could say the Bulls are back on the charge. A look at today's Good Hands play brought to you by Allstate. The 29-yard touchdown pass from Dearness Johnson to Rodney Adams. Nice hands. And talk about a counterpunch there. After the interception that gave up the one-play UConn touchdown drive, USF marches right back down the field, 73 yards in 4 plays, back-to-back impact plays, the 30-yard pass to Pope, and then the 29-yard touchdown pass from Johnson to Adams, and USF retakes the lead.
When you're trying to grow your program like both of these coaches are, philosophically, there's a lot of barriers you want to get over. And one you saw from the Bulls right there, of just competing and playing. And as UConn comes out and scores, they don't let it affect them. They come right back out and answer.
Ball's live. Who's on it? The short kick that bounced up in the air and was a live ball. USF's got it.
It's the little things in life, Alan. Little things in football. Little things make a great marriage. They make a great football team, too. I don't think they intended for this to happen. It just doesn't get fielded well. Newsom doesn't get it recovered.
Jasmine Flax there, 34 for UConn, has the ball bounce up right into him, and Looked like he wanted to let it bounce by to Newsom. And Khalid McGee, 21 for USF, is the guy who winds up getting into the pile.
Was recovered by UConn. First down.
Oh, no, there you go.
Oh, well, now. The initial signal, a referee stood up out of the pile and signaled USF ball.
Willie wants to know, hey, what happened between when you pointed that way and now you're pointing the other way?
Yeah.
It looked like, I thought Newsom was going to be able to get on it. And I thought maybe there we go. Have a little discussion. Unfortunately, the special teams coach only gets mentioned when there's issues.
So in a fortunate bounce, break, ruling, whatever you want to call it, UConn's got the ball back. And the swing pass to the outside to Newsom. He was hit and tripped up immediately there by the Angry Bird, number 2, Jamie Bird.
You got a lot. There's a lot of the guys that really play hard on this Bull defense, and he's one of them. He runs around and makes plays. All these defenders are not afraid to put their pads down and get nosy in there. And even though Hoggins, their corner at number 19, a true freshman, he's 5'8", 167 pounds. Devin Abraham's only 5'9", 186, but they will get up there and put their pads on you.
Newsom swinging to the outside. Get out to about the 31 before he's dragged out of bounds. Setting up third down, and we set up Brendan Fitzgerald.
Alan, thanks. I'm here with Kevin Carter, Robert Nkemdiche, defensive lineman, but on offense here for Ole Miss, he's now out of the game with a concussion.
A goal line stands I can understand, but this is 10 yards out. A huge blow for the Rebels.
Ole Miss has Texas A&M next week. That's in question for Nkemdiche. Back to you guys.
All right, Brendan, Kevin, thanks. Of course, Memphis from this American Conference. One of those teams looking to grab that group of 5 place in the New Year's 6 bowl games.
Yeah, they were kind of a little bit at the bottom because just the percentages them winning out, but their opportunities, obviously this one is great.
Sheriffs will have the first down and more. Finally slides down to a stop outside the 40. They'll mark him at the 42.
There's some maturity, getting down on the ground, sliding, baseball slide, getting down on the grass, not taking a hit. Smart football by the quarterback. He's learning. He's learning under fire.
So they move the chains. It'll be first down at the 42-yard line for Connecticut, who had just taken the lead, gave up the quick scoring play right back the other way. Now can UConn re-seize the top spot. Sheriffs throws again to the outside off the hands of Hergy Mayala. And a minute to remind you about tonight when Ohio State, the #1 team in the country, takes on Penn State in the Horseshoe. Will it be Cardale Jones or JT Barrett leading the Buckeye offense against that stout Penn State D? It's tonight at 8 Eastern on ABC and also streaming live on Watch ESPN. I see that Ohio State's going to wear a little different uni tonight if you tune in and see a team wearing all black uniforms with red trim.
You got him #1, Alan? You think the Buckeyes are #1 right now?
I don't know. I really don't. This has been a weird season as we watch Sheriffs again take off, get the first down, get into the 41-yard line before he goes out of bounds. You know, I don't know, because there's no clear #1, right? No one team that you could say these guys are it.
Yes, and that looks like UConn trying to go speed. Now, we talked about keeping Flowers in the pocket, but how about Sheriffs here? He's getting it done with his legs, going empty for the first time today.
17-yard gain on that one. Now he throws to Arkel Newsom, who finds a way to slip and slide around the USF defensive pursuit and pick up about 5. Here's the one thing I do know. I still think Alabama's a really dangerous team. Despite the lesson that they learned in the loss to Ole Miss, I think they're a really dangerous team. And even they have their flaws.
Huskies spread it out now.
Sheriffs will keep it. They get to the marker and move the chains again for UConn before he's dragged down by Tayshawn Whitehurst.
Come back with a little zone read of their own now. They're sort of feeling it because their eye running game wasn't really getting them maybe what they wanted. Now they're going to go speed up, and they're going to get 10, 11 personnel and spread the Bulls out.
Slips away, and then he's cracked after picking up about 3 yards Sheriffs with some time, but nowhere to go with the ball.
Took a little bit of a pop. Again, I like it when the Bulls bring pressure. I think they create a little bit of an attitude on defense as well as the opportunity for negative plays. They've been rushing 4 and really kind of playing zone on the back end.
Here's Arkel Newsom, gets away from one. Then he's going to get stacked up by Jamie Bird and Tayshawn Whitehurst. It'll be 3rd down and about 2 for the Huskies.
Okay, so you're thinking about we're in field goal range right here if you're the Huskies. So if you're Sheriff, manage the down. Let's not take a sack if we're going to throw the football. Let's make sure we get rid of it and get an opportunity for at least 3 points.
10th play of the drive coming up. UConn on 3rd downs today, 50% in their conversions.
Pretty good ratio, and a lot of it has been because they've been in good down and distance situations.
Johnson's the running back. Sheriff's throws, hits who else? Noel Thomas, who has the 1st down and brings UConn down to the 15.
Good little wrinkle, motion Noel Thomas out of the backfield, brought him back underneath in the shallow cross. Popped open right underneath the coverage. Right in the field of vision of Sheriffs.
5th catch of the day for Thomas. Handoff inside, nothing doing there for Johnson, who's finally wrestled to the ground by Eric Lee.
A lot of penetration. I don't think the offensive line up front there got the front ID'd, and I don't think they blocked the right guys. They're running a zone scheme.
Too many white shirts through there too quickly.
Yeah.
There's the story of the day so far for UConn. Getting points when they've gotten into the red zone.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, that first half, they missed out on a couple opportunities.
1 for 3, and the 1 touchdown they do have came from outside the red zone on that long run from Sheriffs. He'll bring this one back in. No sliding that time. Takes a hit. And it will set up 3rd down.
He's going against Augie Sanchez, their middle linebacker there, coming in at about 250 pounds. You don't want him to be busting his shoulder up in there.
At least he dropped the left shoulder in,
yeah.
Not the right shoulder.
They brought in Alec Bloom as the tight end there and put him out wide in more of a 4 wide receiver look, and kind of messed with the formation and personnel for South Florida.
Play clock running down. Thomas again in the backfield like he was on that last conversion. Ball's on the ground. Sheriffs picks it up. Gets it to the ground just as he's wrapped out of bounds by Sean Hill for USF. And it'll bring the kicking unit onto the field.
He did get popped. He got popped late. And again, good poise right here. Just get rid of it. You don't need to take that shot. Your team needs you playing quarterback.
So Bobby Puyol coming onto the field. He's 8 for 8 on field goal kicks so far this year. Going to spot this one at the 17, so make it a 27-yarder.
So critical, Alan, that you can get points when you get down in here and have a good, steady kicker.
You appreciate that good kicker as a coach, huh?
I do. Doesn't have to make the long one, but when you get in the red zone, nail it.
Great day of college football today. Coming up shortly, Michigan State at Michigan in Ann Arbor. Then tonight, Florida at LSU. Both games on ESPN and streaming live on Watch ESPN. Who's in to the college football playoff? And the New Year's 6 bowl games. Can it be a team from the American Conference? Remember, the highest ranked conference champion of the group of 5 conferences gets into the New Year's 6 bowls, if not already in the college football playoff. But right now, a 1-point game here in East Hartford as UConn put 3 on the board after a nice drive.
Well, Memphis will increase their chances greatly if they can get it done against Ole Miss today.
So with the UConn defense now needing to firm up a little bit after giving up that 4-play, 73-yard drive, I believe it was, the last time that USF had the ball. And kick will go out of the end zone and come on a touchback. These American Conference teams, Hawk, are road warriors.
It's a unique look at, you got time zones. Look at that, covering almost half the United States. No conference really has to do the kind of travel, time zone. You're talking about weather differences. Man, there's a lot of diversity there.
And when you look at the number of miles traveled, compare, let's say, the AP top 10 teams coming into the weekend with the teams in the American and the miles that they travel on average.
Incredible. It's different. You know, we were talking to Willie Taggart about coming up. Of course, it wasn't a conference game. They came and played Maryland. The issue they had with their plane and some of that, but it is different, and you're lugging these guys around a lot of miles. It wears on the body. You don't sleep exactly the same. It's different.
So USF showing that inverted wishbone again. Marlon Mack will have the ball, trying to tiptoe the sidelines. No whistle. He's still going. Finally shoved out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Max stifled all day, finally breaks off a long run after he tiptoes down the sideline.
They broke out this three-back personnel, and you see we got a little read going on. Boy, I thought he stepped out. It was close, huh? He did a nice job tiptoeing down the sideline.
I want to see if they're going to stop this and look at it.
I think they're going to.
South Florida.
That's a sideline warning.
Previous play is under further review.
And now the review. That's what I thought. I thought they'd stop and look at that. That could be too critical a play not to make sure it's right.
Okay. Boy, he was a little green. I think there's a little green right through there. A little bit of green. Little green stripe. Good work by our crew. Ooh, couldn't quite see it there.
Well, really, the end result is what replay official Jack Kramer sees, and if he sees it as indisputable video evidence. The white shoe on Mac's left and right feet versus that white sideline.
I thought the first step you could clearly see some green. Looks like
okay.
I thought there was green there.
That one I don't know.
That one, ooh.
I don't know. But if it were me, would I say that that's enough to be indisputable?
Good.
The answer would be
that's good.
Don't know if I could.
Ooh.
Wow. So now you've got me in this habit where now I start to watch the back judge that's standing with the referee while they're making these reviews and see if he takes out the pad and starts writing down time and yard lines and all that other kind of thing. In this case, he is not, so I'm going to say this one stands.
You, sir, will be correct.
After review, the ruling on the field stands.
Boom. Well, I'm with you. I don't know that it was indisputable. I don't know that you could just totally overturn it.
That's the trick.
I think if the official would have called him out on that second step there, he probably would have been right. So either way, the official had a clean look at it. Got to feel like he was on top of it.
So the 59-yard gain puts the Bulls in business at the 16.5-yard line. First down.
South Florida a little messed up here formation-wise. They're trying to get it organized.
They'll spin it back this way. Well, there's Darius Tice, who doesn't find much running room. Oh, check that. Dearness Johnson in there. And Junior Joseph with a nice play for the UConn defense.
Yeah, they had Sean Price, the tight end, number 12, playing in the backfield. Same look again. You got Mr. Touchdown Rodney Adams up at the top here, has had some success.
Flowers looking to throw. Now we'll bring it down. Evasive, slippery, looking for the pylon. Into the end zone. Touchdown, USF.
Kid's pretty dynamic.
Well, he didn't have any place to throw the ball, but he found a place to run with it.
Yeah. This we talk about. Watch the rush lanes of UConn as you come up the field. You see there, Kemp in, he gets kind of banged down inside. creates a little bit of a gap out there because Cole Ormsby got widened out on the defensive end spot. Good blocking by Johnson outside to help him to finish it in the touchdown.
Nadelman's PAT is good. Another very fast downfield trip for the USF offense. You see there 3 plays, 75 yards. The 15-yard scamper into the end zone puts USF out to a 21-13 lead. And a quick reminder that you can catch any and all of the college football action on a Saturday from all of the ESPN networks on the Watch ESPN app or at watchespn.com. Be sure and check it out if you don't have it. Highly recommended. I can assure you that we'll be wearing it out after this telecast is over, checking on some of the other action around the country.
Will they let me drive and watch that at the same time?
No.
Okay.
Don't do that. You, sir, can wear out the button on the radio when you're winning a call.
I will. Only if you are calling the action, though. The velvet fog. The velvet fog of Alan Bestwick. All right, it's turned into a score fest here now. Defensive battle in the first half. Now the offensive coordinator's got corrections made and scoring all kinds of points.
That'll be Newsom at the 16. Big return here. Still going. Finally knocked down, ricocheting off one and tripping over Dearness Johnson. UConn all the way down to the 40-yard line of USF. Penalty flag on the field. Penalty flag down.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, receiving team number 34, throat slash, 15-yard penalty, first down.
That is so stupid.
Really?
Really just unbelievable.
That's number 34's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul.
That's the kind of stuff that just kills you as a coach. I mean, you're trying to get your team to play smart football, learn how to win games and little things, and you have something good happen, and guys can't handle it. But that's the stuff that, young coaches or new coaches are trying to build within their program. And I know kids are excited, but come on, have a little poise, have a little focus.
And the USF player who was down on the field and is now back up, Khalid McGee, 21. And walking off to the near sideline. So now time for the UConn offense to come back onto the field. Quarterback Brian Sheriffs has carried the ball a lot more in this second half, and as a result has taken a lot more of a licking, including that one that ended that last offensive possession that the Huskies had.
Yeah, and we said one of the goals was to protect Sheriffs, and I really think, I don't know what the magic number is, but I don't think your quarterback can take more than about 4 or 5 a game. Nice job again by these defensive backs making plays, tackling.
Jamie Bird read the swing pass all the way and slipped through the intended block to make the nice 5-yard loss happen. So UConn, instead of starting at the USF 40, backed up by the penalty to their own 45, now backed up to their own 40 and facing second down and long.
Yeah, you had the ball on the 40-yard line. You get a first down. You got a chance of being field goal range, and now you're backed up again.
And that is how the third quarter will end. Been a lot of points put on the board in this quarter 3. What will the fourth quarter bring? We'll find out when we come back to East Hartford in a minute. South Florida leading UConn 21-13. A lot of fireworks in this second half as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. 10 points in the first 2 quarters, 24 scored in quarter 3. What will the ending of this one look like? UConn with the ball trailing by 1 possession to USF. Alan Bestwick, Coach Dan Hawkins here in East Hartford. UConn with the ball, 2nd and 15 at its own 40-yard line to begin quarter number 4.
Both teams have become offensive juggernauts in the second half.
Sheriffs throws over the middle. It's busy, but Arkel Newsom gets away across midfield. Finally brought down at the 37-yard line.
Dynamic little playmaker, getting the ball to him, throwing it, kickoff return, handing it to him.
That was thrown what looked like into traffic. He was hit right away and somehow kept the legs going, kept moving, and got away.
The key for the Huskies, they've gotten out of their 2-back, tight end. Now, I don't know what's going on because maybe we're a little banged up at tight end, although we've seen both of the tight ends in.
Sheriffs Looked to throw, looked for running room, looked again. Finally scampers out for about 6 yards before Eric Lee catches up to him.
Both tight ends, Alec Bloom and Tommy Myers, have been in the game, but not necessarily together. Frank Verducci's kind of liking more one back, 3 wide receiver schemes, and they're throwing it a lot more. They had 220 yards passing in the first half. And Sheriffs is having a pretty nice outing here today, as long as he can avoid the turnover.
He's thrown 1 interception today, 268 yards passing for Sheriffs, 86 yards on the ground. Pressure, throws it quickly out to the outside to Hergy Mayala, who will be out close to the first down sticks. It looks like they're going to mark him about a yard short. Tajay Fullwood knocked him out of bounds. 3rd and short coming up.
All right, really awesome pickoff off the corner blitz. The adjustment run, the hitch outside. He sees it, pitch and catch. Boy, it seems like a simple thing, but for Sheriffs to see that and get the throw out cleanly, pick it up on the outside, those are the little steps they're trying to bring these guys along, showing a little bit of maturity on offense.
Mayala, the freshman from Montreal, getting more and more playing time in this UConn offense. 3rd down, can the Huskies convert? They hand the ball, it's going to be close. Nice pursuit off the edge by Jamie Bird. And Deidrin Sinat for USF. Looks like they're going to mark him just short. Remember, this game started with UConn with a 4th and short, deep in USF territory, and they couldn't convert. Here comes the kicking unit onto the field.
Fans, of course, not liking it. This is a little bit farther than his long of 42. This will put him at 44, I guess we'll call it.
Career long 45. He hit a year ago for Bobby Puyol. Tim Boyle, the backup quarterback, is the holder. They'll let him kick it away. Bangs it off the upright.
Into the wind, too. Had to hit that thing into the wind.
So still a 1-possession game, as the long kick into that stiff breeze winds up clanging off the right upright. He had the distance, missed it by that much. A lot of really interesting things going on around college football today. I'm sure there will be many more tonight. And tomorrow morning, we'll spend 4 hours digging into all of them in depth on College Football Sunday here on ESPNU from 8 a.m. to noon, and of course on Watch ESPN as well. Well, still a 1-possession game here at East Hartford, Pratt Whitney Stadium, Rentschler Field, the home of the UConn Huskies on their homecoming weekend. But right now, it's the USF Bulls who have the lead after that long field goal try by UConn clanged off the right upright.
Yeah, you wonder, it was 4th and inches. His long this year is 42. I know his longest is 45, but that was 44 into the wind.
He had plenty of distance.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, you know, they've had trouble on those 3rd and 4th and short so far today, so maybe that's influencing Bob Diaco's decision.
Yeah, they did not get it in the first quarter on the quarterback sneak. And
didn't get it on the 3rd and short conversion try either. Far side, Dearness Johnson will pick up a couple as we check in on some of that interesting elsewhere action. And Brendan.
Yeah, Alan, and in the American Conference, what a name Memphis making for itself. They were down 14-0. They have come back. It is 31-21 after this Paxton Lynch touchdown pass in the 3rd quarter.
Very interesting, for sure. 3 undefeateds in the American Conference starting play today. Want to pick up on that theme in a second. First, coming near side, Marlon Mack. Probably his 2nd best run of the day. He'll have the ball out to the 43-yard line. You talked about the FPI numbers, ESPN's analytics that are predictive of future results. And you talked about Memphis having such slim odds of getting through the regular season undefeated. Well, a lot of that, I think, was because they had to play this game today against Ole Miss.
Yeah, and I think it actually favors them. You see, UConn has got to get lined up to this 3-back personnel formation because South Florida is really taking them to the woodshed, getting outside. Here you see the FBI and Boise State, of course, getting bumped off last night. Leaves the door wide open. Toledo beat an Arkansas team that was ranked at the time. Houston, Temple, Memphis, all the way in the bottom. But if they can win, they're going to go all the way up there. So they got a chance to play each other down the road as well.
Coming near side, Darius Tice. First down for USF and more.
I'm not too sure you don't call a timeout and draw this up in the huddle. They got to get lined up. That's the third time in a row. Exact same place. They're going fast. UConn's trying to sub to it. But they have found a glitch.
Flowers to keep. Got a little seam on the near sideline. Cross the 20. Runs out of bounds at the 15. There is a flag down on the field. And this one's probably going to come back.
Came back with a read off of it.
Our referee Adam Savoie waiting for his line judge and back judge to talk it over. Or
Yeah,
side judge.
You just wanted to say his name because you get your French in there. And I know you've been to all these races and all these tennis matches and all over the world.
Holding. Offense, number 11. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Marlon Pope, the tight end, called for that one. I'm still not over the fact that you called me the Velvet Fog a little while ago. I'm still trying to understand whether that was a compliment or an insult.
That's a compliment. Are you kidding me? That is a compliment.
So a setback for the USF drive brings it now back to 1st and 20. And the ball out at the 43-yard line.
If it works, keep doing it. That's what South Florida. It's just a question of whether they want to run to the tight end side down here or the open side up the top.
This will be Tice looking for the corner. Nice pursuit to the outside to keep him from getting there by Andrew Adams for UConn, number 22.
Nothing flashy now. Watch for the play action pass. Bunch of times in a row.
Danny Hope, the co-offensive coordinator for UConn. And on the far side, head coach Bob Diaco with defensive coordinator Anthony Poindexter, who was next to him momentarily. There's Dearness Johnson. He's going to get back up to about set up a third. Check that, a 4th and 12 it should be.
UConn playing 5 defenders inside the box. And you've got 5 blockers with South Florida, but when you have a quarterback that can run as well as your tailback, it gives you a man advantage.
I was right the first time. 3rd and 12. Flowers to keep. He's got room. He's close. He's close. Going to come up about a half a yard short, it looks like, by the spot.
Yeah.
4th and a bit. What do you do?
Good call by you. Looks like he's going to come with a field goal. He likes his kicker. Got the wind at his back. Up by 7. Feeling good about your kicker. Probably the right call.
Make it a 2-possession game if you knock it through. Emilio Nadelman is 4 of 5 on field goals this year. Going to spot this one at the 34. It's going to be a long one. Whistles.
Delay. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Now what do you do, Coach Taggart?
That stuff is just brutal.
Do you let him kick it from 48?
He hammered that one pretty good. Got the wind at his back. He feels good about it. A lot of pressure up inside. Cam Penny came charging through up inside.
Very strong breeze all day today here in East Hartford. So they will back him up, let him kick it again. He missed one from 49 last week.
Keep your eyes in the middle of the screen by the center.
Gets this one off. And missed it.
Well, the offense is dynamic. Field goal team, not so much.
So still a 1-possession game. UConn will get the ball back. The long try comes up just a bit short.
ESPNU College Football, All-State Saturday Kickoff. Brought to you by Allstate. Proud supporters of college football. Are you in good hands? And Samuel Adams, for the love of beer.
So I'm just finding out that this is on the stadium, on the campus ground somewhere. They make their own ice cream at UConn. And I'm just finding this out after we were there on campus yesterday.
I think our producer went there without us, had some homemade ice cream, left us out of it.
So can Augie Sanchez and the USF defense find a way to keep UConn out of the end zone? Back-to-back missed field goals, one on each side. As Arkel Newsome gets around the outside edge before he's carried out of bounds by Nate Godwin.
Got a little fly sweep of their own. They kind of shifted that time. Made it look like they're going to be in two backs.
What's the difference between a fly sweep and a jet sweep?
Well, it's because it originally was called a fly sweep, and then some guy came along and called it a jet sweep, so now some people call it the jet sweep. Not me, though. The original name is the fly sweep, and I shall keep the fly sweep.
So essentially, there is no difference.
No difference. Really like the creativity that's gone on by both of these offenses in the second half.
Sheriff's looking for a little running room. About 5 white shirts on top of him. The one at the bottom of the pile was Sean Hill. And we talked about goals for each team at the start of the day and what they were going to have to accomplish to win. How are they doing?
Yeah, it's been kind of interesting. I don't think they've done a great job. Flowers has got loose on him a little bit. Mack is right there. Really had one big play. And I think Sheriff's has probably taken a few more pops than they want. Like I said, I don't know what that magic number is, but you start getting about 4 or 5 in a game, I think it start wearing on your quarterback.
45-yard line for second down. Sheriff's throws over the middle. There's Alec Bloom, one of the big tight ends for UConn. They'll cross midfield and move the chains.
Obviously had success going into the tight ends in the first half. The big guys in here. Bloom spotting up right in the middle, throwing the thing on time. Good catch. They didn't want to go with Bloom and Myers, both tight ends in the game. They talked about that yesterday. They've opted to kind of go one tight end at a time now.
So a fresh set of downs for the Huskies as the ball's spotted at the 44. Swings to the outside. Noel Thomas had the catch, but nicely played again by Jamie Bird. Haven't we called his name a lot today?
If you're not sure, just yell out Bird, because he's probably in on it. Been trying to get Noel Thomas doing a nice job motioning out of the backfield several different ways. But Jamie Bird doing a great job coming up on play. Physical. Look at Bird tackles for the DB.
Bird, the senior from Dade City, Florida. It's either been he or Augie Sanchez, the middle linebacker, who've been doing a lot of the hitting today for the guys wearing white.
Tom Allen really wants these guys to play fast and physical and play hard. I think he's really accomplished that. Good motors, good pursuit, bringing pressure here. Picked up well.
With time to throw, in and out of the hands of Hergy Mayala, and incomplete.
Yeah, they're trying to bring Hergy along in this offense. They anticipated playing him a little bit more in this game. Got to come up with that. Much like Noel Thomas went up in double coverage in the first half and snagged the ball. Got to go down and get that. Wasn't the greatest throw, but it's fine. That's where the receivers got to really earn his scholarship money.
And that one hurts because after the first down pass that was sniffed out so well, that one goes through the hands. Now it's 3rd down and 10.
Probably after the missed field goal, you're thinking 2 downs here, down by a score. Both offenses have moved it well.
Sheriffs spins away, throws into traffic. Caught and cracked. Noel Thomas there in traffic, but he hangs on to the ball. Not enough for the first down. It'll bring up 4th and short.
That was a sweet move in the pocket. Spinning around, setting his feet, making a dart throw. And there's number 5, trusty Noel Thomas, making a tough catch and getting popped in coverage.
So 4th down, the Husky offense stays on the field.
Look out for quarterback run again.
They need the 39. Check that, the 34. In trouble. Sniffed out by the Bull defense, and the ball will go over on downs. Big play by Nigel Harris on that one. The junior from Tampa gets to the quarterback, and the 4th down conversion is all for naught. The late afternoon and night games on ESPN, a couple of good ones. Michigan State at Michigan, and Florida and LSU. Hawk, who do you like? A couple of tough ones to call.
Yeah, obviously Greer being out, I think you got to favor the Tigers. I think Harris started to throw the ball a little bit better. J.D. Moore, the fullback, though, is out. That's going to hurt them a little bit. So I'd probably go Tigers there. I think the Spartans a little banged up going into the big house, but I think that plays well. And they love to have the chip on the shoulder. Coach, both coaches in both programs are all about having the chip on the shoulder in that game. But I'm always a bad picker, but I would have to go Spartans probably in that game.
Both those games this afternoon and tonight on ESPN and streaming live on Watch ESPN. Here in East Hartford, UConn failing to convert on 4th down deep inside USF's territory for the second time today. So the ball goes back to the Bulls. It's Quinton Flowers, the quarterback, with it coming near side. He'll have a nice pickup before he runs out of bounds. And so still a one-possession game, but the clock running here, or will be shortly, with coming down to 5 minutes to go. And the goals for the day for USF and how they fared.
Yeah, they've gotten a couple explosion plays down there. They did not, I think, wake up necessarily playing the first quarter. They got it going in the third quarter, and you can see the negative plays there. That's big. That's 9 of them.
And when you look at things from the UConn side, besides the 0 for 2 on 4th down, this game is still within reach. But you've got to stop USF here, and you've got to get the ball back. Flowers will keep again. Nice move to the outside.
Wow, is he slippery.
He'll get the first down before he's dropped by Graham Stewart.
Good little chess match. UConn has started putting 5 guys on the line of scrimmage to stop the outside play. The outside sweep that the Bulls have been running, and now the Bulls have been countering a little bit with some quarterback runs designed to kind of go inside. Here's the play action we've been waiting for.
Flowers downfield with who else? Adams wide open. He slips a tackle, and he'll go into the end zone for the touchdown. Rodney Adams from 44 yards with his 3rd touchdown grab of the day.
You knew it was coming. Just had to come at some point. Little play action pulling the guard. Javon Williams, the leading interceptor for this club, in man coverage. What a big day for Adams.
Yeah, I guess. Targeted 6 times. He's caught 5 of them. 3 of them have gone for touchdowns.
The running quarterback creates an extra element because you have to have extra defenders committed to that. And it takes him out of the secondary.
And the point after try makes it a 2-score deficit for UConn. Adams again. Another long touchdown catch and run. Hawk, your theory, 3 plays make a difference in the outcome of the game.
Well, they had a chance for some sort of points early in the game. First drive, don't convert on 4th and short. Here at the end of the half, trying to figure out, do we go for a touchdown? Can we kick a field goal? Time runs out, gets 0 points right there. And then the last drive, 4th and short, unable to get it off and get sacked.
So Hawks 3 plays that have made the difference in the day today here at UConn, and homecoming not looking quite so happy now as the Huskies are down by 2 scores with less than 4.5 minutes to go in this one. We talked about it the very sorry Dan.
Well, they've proven that they can go fast. They went no huddle, which was great. They can do that. It's within their offense. They got to get rolling, start taking some shots down the field.
Newsom dropped the kick, picked it back up. He'll be shy of the 25-yard line. We'll check the penalty flag that has landed on the field.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 49. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Things that make a difference. You know, one of the things that has stood out to me are the scoring drives for South Florida and how quickly they've gotten down the field.
Incredible. You're right. 4 plays, 73. 3 plays, 75. 3 plays, 57. All touchdowns. Time of possession means nothing in modern day football. It is all about scores.
So UConn will be backed up to its own 9-yard line. Sheriffs Throws under pressure, bounces it off the side of the head of Tyreek Beals, the intended receiver who wasn't looking for the ball.
Man, you know it's not your day when that happens. Hit the guy right in the helmet. Huh? What? You mean You mean I'm eligible? Yeah. Tough.
Beals,
Tough day.
Beals, a true freshman from East Orange, New Jersey. He'll see that one in the film room. So second down for the Huskies, and you see just over 4 minutes to go in the game. Quick strikes have not been UConn's thing for sure. They've marched down the field very effectively today. There's a nice move there by Alec Bloom. Will get the ball out across the 25-yard line.
Sun starting to come back out. Huskies going fast. Here comes Sanchez back in the game. Bulls electing to play zone, play 2 deep, keep it all in front.
So Sheriffs will try and take advantage and run. He'll have first down yardage and more. Chased down from behind. Tracked down there by Zach Bullock. But they'll stop the clock while they move the chains and reset for first down.
Stranger things have happened, Alan. Stranger things. I've seen 16 points in 24 seconds. So if you're standing on the sidelines, this is an eternity.
Another quick throw for first down yardage out to Bloom. Suddenly the big tight end, 6'6", out of Pennsylvania.
You get in a situation here defensively. I always tell our guys, keep playing football. What does that mean? Let's not just prevent. I think they're better in pressure. You get chased from the backside.
Going to get wrestled to the ground there. Jamie Bird, who else? Number 2 at the bottom of the stack.
But I think, Alan, you just want to keep playing. You want to keep doing the things you've been doing during the game. I think sometimes when you change your mode, either on offense or defense, it takes you out of your natural rhythm.
Sheriff's going to throw long downfield. Bloom almost made a circus catch. Just couldn't pull it into the basket.
Old Thomas on the fade. I'll tell you, Sheriffs, they're going to be able to build on this kid. He can run. He's tough. Making good. That was a heck of a throw. That's right where you want it to be. He can move around. He's made some checks. Done some really nice things today. Got plenty of time to develop. Just a sophomore.
Transferred in from North Carolina State. Sat out last season. Won the camp competition for the quarterback spot. Now trying to see if he can rally the Huskies from behind in the final 3 minutes of the game. Throws across the middle. There's another shot for Tyreek Beals. He's only going to get out to about the 39, 38-yard line before he's dragged down by Khalid McGee.
This time he was ready. He said, okay, you're going to hit me in the helmet once. But it's not going to happen again.
Move the ball down to the 37-yard line. And a crucial play here. 4th down to keep the drive going. Sheriff's throw is complete. They finally convert a 4th down.
When you have those big guys that can get in those seams and can get the ball up high and are really steady, strong-handed people, and that's a real benefit to a quarterback.
Tommy Myers, the big tight end from Coventry, Connecticut. Sheriff's going to run with it this time. Now he's going to reach back and throw. Has a man wide open in the end zone. It's Beals for a redeeming touchdown.
Everybody streaming out of the parking lot, put on your brakes and hold on. You may want to come back into the stadium.
Well, a very nice march down the field, including a 4th down conversion. And the true freshman, Tyreek Beals, gets the touchdown reception. Now a crucial point after try here. That is not true. And it's a 1-score game again.
How ironic is it that yesterday, talking to Bob Diaco, we were talking about the onside kick, of which he had earlier in the year. We were having some fun discussing that.
And now you might just see it. Probably will in a minute. 9 plays, 91 yards, 2 minutes, 11 seconds down the field. A drive that found Tyreek Beals having that happen to him down one end of the field, finished with this on the other.
Really good presence by Sheriff. Look at him get over there and square his hips around, throwing that ball to the left. Not an easy throw.
So 2:12 left. All your timeouts for both teams. If you're UConn and you're coaching them, I understand you can't predict what Bob Diaco is going to do, but if you're coaching him, do you do the onside here?
I'm going onside. You know why? We aren't stopping them.
Yeah.
We're not stopping them anyway, so why not increase your chances? So go ahead and onside kick it. See if you get it, because we haven't stopped him anyway.
So UConn going to tee it up here and see what they can get.
Now the other thing you could do here too, if you trusted your kicker and he could spread it around, but now look at how down here at the bottom, look at how there's 3 guys out leveraged right there. You could punch it back over on the left side.
Ball's loose. Who's got it? USF. Ball was ricocheting around there for just a second.
We were just talking yesterday how they ran past the onside kick earlier in the year.
It's a nice kick with that bounce. 2 players went for it, and it winds up somehow in the hands of Devin Abraham, 20.
You need the vapor.
Yeah.
You need the vapor trail guy in there behind. Oh, boy, those plays don't come up very often, but when they do, you have to execute them perfectly on both sides, and it really matters.
So USF with the ball, 2 minutes, 9 seconds to go. UConn has 3 timeouts. We just showed you how efficient USF's been marching down the field to score. Do you keep doing what you've been doing, or do you just keep the ball on the ground?
Well, I think that's mostly what they have been doing. At some point here, the down distance dictates that you take a shot. UConn's got to sell out, obviously, into the run game. And if they want to throw it, fine, but can't let them run it here.
Like that. Dearness Johnson will have a first down. And Bob Diaco will call his first timeout. Well, can they get to being bowl eligible? We talked about at the very top of our broadcast, the winner of this one, that was the fight. The loser probably was going to see those hopes greatly diminish. There's the remaining schedule for the Bulls. And it's not easy.
No. And again, nothing matters on paper. I mean, I guess the only game you would say probably would be the Central Florida game there at the end. A lot of teams in there playing good football. It's going to be a struggle.
And Navy, you got to go to East Carolina. Temple, of course, still undefeated. And Cincinnati, even though they came out on the short end of the stick against BYU last night, the Bearcats have looked good this year. Certainly been able to move the ball. So Willie Taggart and company trying to see if they can keep possession, run out the clock, and get a big win on the road in conference and division play.
Doing a nice job checking to the sideline, making sure they're in the right play. Probably going to hand this ball going back left.
Flowers will keep. Nice pickup. And they signal again for a timeout. Second of the 3 for the Huskies. As for UConn and their remaining schedule, the road ahead is no easier. We talked about earlier, Hawk, this American Conference is a tough one. And not just the road miles, but the opponents and the quality of them that you got to face.
Yeah, we talked about the group of 5 in there, and you got Houston and Temple have a shot to and we had East Carolina against BYU. That's a good football team.
Yeah.
We already talked about Cincinnati, so it will not be easy. And again, paper counts for nothing. But you'd really think, okay, Tulane, all right, we might get that game, but those other 4 be scrap burden. I'm not saying Tulane's a mail-in anyway.
By the way, how good has Houston looked so far this year?
Boy, Greg Ward Jr., we've done their games, we've broadcast their games a couple times in the past. He is electric, and of course Tom Herman is doing a nice job coming from Urban Meyer's program up at Ohio State.
Dearness Johnson with the carry. Just shy of first down yardage. UConn spends its final timeout. Certainly been a lot more success in the second half running the ball for the Bulls than in the first.
Give both coordinators credit. South Florida came out in their 3-back set, started running the ball outside. That was the key. UConn on the other side went to a 1-back set, and Frank Verducci started getting that thing going a little bit. So both teams switched a little bit philosophy at halftime and made some corrections, and it really helped them. There's Frank Verducci, the offensive coordinator for UConn.
And Marlon Mack, just by way of note, had that one really long run that he broke off. He's 1 yard shy of another 100-yard game. The single season mark at USF for most 100-yard games is 6. If he can get this one, he'd be just a couple away with plenty of season left to go. Here's Mack. He's got that 100 yards and more. And twisted his ankle just when he came down. I think he rolled on that right ankle when he stepped out of bounds. Or was it the hamstring? No, he's grabbing the hammy. Yeah. You're right, Coach. Sorry.
Well, it's hard to tell. As I say, we knew it was a lower leg injury.
Yeah, hockey terms.
Yeah, he just kind of elongated his stride just a little bit there at the end.
But a big first down pickup with the UConn out of timeouts now. And so USF a minute and 43 away from getting a big road victory.
Probably would have liked him to stay in bounds.
Yeah. Up the inside. Dearness Johnson for some tough yards, and the clock runs with a minute and a half to go as Mack continues to get looked at. That'll certainly keep a lot of people's attention who favor the green and gold as they look toward their game next week when they get ready to take on SMU.
It is a little chillier. We saw Augie Sanchez getting stretched out, their middle linebacker, when they were on defense. Certainly don't want to have a hamstring. Those things can linger for a long time, particularly when you're a running back. Here's the favorite formation of every offensive coordinator.
You know, USF has only been playing top-level football for 19 years now, 16 years in the FBS, football for 19 years, and they're about to get their 100th win in the program's history.
Good job by Willie Taggart. Big win against Syracuse last week. Goes on the road. I think that's a telltale sign. He's got some good young players, a lot of talent, a lot of speed. Recruiting the heck out of the Bay Area around Tampa. Of course, we know Florida's always loaded with guys.
And for UConn, a game where they had opportunities. This will be one that got away, I think they'll feel. And so the win for South Florida and Willie Taggart as they'll wind up on the positive end of a 28-20 contest on homecoming weekend here in East Hartford. Virginia Tech and Miami coming up next here on ESPNU, a game that both coaches and both teams could use to win as well. And so the dreams of maybe being in contention for the American East Division championship fight and a chance at the conference championship game stay alive for USF. The road to bowl eligibility gets a lot tougher for Bob Diaco and the Connecticut Huskies. College football scoreboard coming up next, then Virginia Tech and Miami. So the final from East Hartford, 28-20 USF over UConn. For Dan Hawkins and our ESPNU college football crew, Alan Bestwick, so long for now. Let's send you back to the studio. Brendan Fitzgerald and Kevin Carter.
Alan, thanks very much, and good job out there.